Today I'm going to be doing a talk about just my diet. And after 25 years or so of eating a raw vegan diet, the simplicity of it, it gets more simple. Your diet's not supposed to get more complicated. It's supposed to get more simple. And, I just doing my best to eat more simple. Here I am. You see these fruits. This is a green fruit. This is a star fruit, but it's green. It's not ready yet. And I remember when I first started eating a raw food diet, I was like, how am I going to eat fruits and vegetables if I don't like fruits and vegetables? Can you believe there was a time I didn't like fruits and vegetables? And this here is the reason why I didn't like fruits and vegetables. You see, if you go to the average store and you look for a fruit like this, it's called a star fruit, which is supposed to be yellow and it's sweet and delicious. But when you go to the store and you buy it like this, because they pick it like this, it is not tasty like this. It is unripe. The majority of food you find in a store is unripe. And how do you expect this is going to ripen off the tree, but nowhere close to what it's supposed to be on the tree. And that's what they do in the stores. And when they give you fruit and stuff, they just pick it unripe. And we want to do our best to get the highest quality foods as possible. And here I am. This is an avocado tree. So let me show you this here. This is an avocado. And this particular variety of avocado, which you can't even get in the stores because they don't sell them in the stores because they only have like one or two particular varieties of certain things. For example, mangoes. I know people that tell me they don't like mangoes. I'm like, how in the world can you not like a mango? But then when you realize that the only mangoes they've ever tasted are mangoes that were picked unripe from another country that are a bad variety. There are some mangoes I don't like. There are some mangoes that I absolutely dislike. And then there are mangoes I like, but they're picked at the wrong time that I don't like. So when it comes to liking these things, it's a manipulative thing that's out there. And advertisers are going to get you to eat the things they want you to eat. So they might not, they're going to make you think like you don't like avocados, or to make it even worse, they're going to go and create a place that has avocados, but it's going to add a whole bunch of ingredients to it, sugar and everything else, to mimic the way it's actually supposed to taste in nature. So I learned how to eat these things at the right time and when the best time is to eat them. But that's what's done, by the, and why many people don't like this. Let me show you two more examples of something like this. And different foods have different seasons. So the more a food has to come from a different part of the world, like we should be eating locally. That's the food that's best for us. If we have to get food from like Brazil or Chile or something, it's not going to be as good as it should be. And not just in taste wise, but also in nutrition wise. And it's something to consider, and this is why I didn't like fruits and vegetables for a long time, and a lot of people don't like fruits and vegetables. I'm going to show you some more examples here. So here is papaya. Now, a lot of people never even tasted a papaya, but look how green these are. Now, there are some people, I think in Thailand, that eat green papaya. They make salads out of it. But no, the papaya is an amazing fruit. And when it's yellow, it's ripe. And it's very, very sweet. But like this is the way you'll find it in the stores. And it's never going to ripen the way it was meant to ripen. And that's a problem. And through artificial means, they might try to get something to ripen. But it's... Or to mimic the real taste of the way it's supposed to be. But it's not even close. Because remember, if you pick that papaya off the tree, you have to eat it right away if you pick it off ripe. But there's not enough time to do that and actually get it to the store and sell it before it gets too ripe. So they have to pick it unripe. So up here in this tree, let me come up here and show you. Let me come up this ladder and be very careful because they say more accidents happen on ladders than anything else. So here are some more papayas, green papayas. You see them starting to yellow. But a papaya is supposed to be yellow. And people don't get it. They don't understand this. They do this with mangoes. They do this with, have you ever had a blueberry that didn't taste ripe? You know, with everything, with all the fresh produce that we're supposed to have. Let me show you this, the most commonly unripe food we pick. And you understand that about acidic and alkalizing in our bodies? Foods are supposed to be alkalizing. But if you have a food that naturally in nature is alkalizing, but you eat it when it's unripe, it is now acidic. And it's not good for you. This is why there are people that eat a vegetarian diet and fruits and vegetables, and they're just not healthy. Because they're not eating at the right stage. So they're up there, you see bananas. Those bananas are supposed to be picked when they're yellow. But they're green. Not healthy. They're green. You're supposed to wait till they're ripe. And that's when you pick them. And that's why it's so great to grow your own food. So you know what you're getting. And everyone has an opportunity to grow their own food. It's one of the most important things you can do. Even if you live in a city, you can grow your own food with just learning about sprouts and growing sprouts. And here I have some greens growing and just growing your own food. But here is two more examples. So there's avocados on this tree. Let's see. These are a different variety of avocados than the other ones. So they're not ripe yet. They're almost ripe. They've been on this tree for months like this. And I picked them when they weren't ripe and they weren't good. But, you know, when you go like this and they come up, so then you know they're ripe. And there's ways, or I look for some on the floor. Has any fallen? Tree ripened fruit is amazing. Here's one more example. This is a soursop, also known as guanabana. This is excellent for cancer. It's a delicious fruit. It's great for overall health. Even these leaves are great for making tea. But again, it's hard as a rock right now. If you do see this growing in a store somewhere, it is going to be hard like this because they pick it like this. Because once it's ripe on a tree, it's ready to be eaten. So if I pick this off, it's going to take several weeks before it gets ripe, and that's what they do in the store. It doesn't have all the full potential that it was meant to have in there. And it's created a tremendous problem. It's called the quality of food that we're getting. And this is another big problem I have with buying food from the average grocery store. Here's some more bananas up there. If you see them, they're green. They're not ready to eat. So the quality of the food is going to determine the quality of your health ultimately. And the reality of this is the quality of the food today is just not, it's not meeting the standard of what good health should be. The quality of the food today is just absolutely atrocious. So I want to make this video to encourage you to grow your own food, learn about sprouts and microgreens if you live in a city and you don't have a backyard or a roof where you can grow on, or a patio. You know, I think about this now. I grew up in New York City, well, in Brooklyn, New York, and I think, why didn't I grow food growing up? Well, my parents definitely weren't into farming or growing anything, but not plants or anything. But I was like, I had a beautiful patio growing up. My mother still lives there. I could have absolutely had the most amazing container garden right on my patio in New York. And when I lived there growing up, if I knew about this, if my parents taught me about this as I was growing up, but they didn't. And people today aren't. And that's a tremendous error, and it's a big problem. 100%, at least maybe 8 months out of the year, I could have been growing food when I lived in New York. Right on my patio. I lived in a big building, but I had a giant terrace. In the sun, there was so much sun there every day. I had to pull the shades down. There was too much sun coming in. And we could do that. We can all do that. So, you know, I want to encourage people to keep it simple, but, you know, seek out the highest quality foods you can get. Definitely, far definitely, the sooner the food is eaten after it's picked, assuming it's picked at the right stage, the better it is for you. So I definitely want to encourage you to shop at farmers markets or Even better, speak to the farmer and go out to the farm and shop there and try to get your food, uh, that's picked at the right time. Do your research of what you're getting. And we live in a society today where it's not practical or easy for most people to grow all of their food. Even more important, to try to grow some of your food. Sunflower sprouts, wheatgrass, and maybe a small plant in the front of your house is better than no plant in the front of your house. So you can grow a little spinach in a container in front of your house instead of growing nothing. Do it. This is all part of the raw food lifestyle and vegan lifestyle, living healthy as possible. And remember, the investment you make in your health today is going to determine a lot tomorrow. And eat the best you can eat. Keep things on a simple level, but on the same hand, learn about growing food. I mean, I'm just learning now. I'm always learning, but I'm learning a lot of things now that if my parents would have taught me as I was growing up, I far more be able to do a lot more than I'm doing now successfully. I wouldn't be doing the experiments now. I'd be doing the harvesting now in all of these different areas. So I want to encourage you all. Thank you for watching. Put your comments or questions below. Have a great day, everybody, and a great world life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.